All right. Well, I think I'm back again. Um, we've got a storm happening here in Massachusetts, it looks like, and I got cut off. So I'm going to jump right back in. I ended there with was ending with my honorable mentions. Katron Allen, Antonio Williams on the Commanders. Been picking up a lot of steam over the last month or two. So probably no surprise, but those were guys I liked early on. I think JCM and Antonio Williams will likely lead that backfield. Katron Allen will lead that backfield, and I think Antonio Williams, even with Deeks coming on board, he's a great little slot receiver, and I think he could be really big for Jaden Daniels this year. Malachi Fields, receiver two on the other side of Neighbors, it looks like. The receivers at Washington have always, in New York have always been a bit of a mess. So I've never, really gotten too into them outside of Neighbors, obviously. But, Neighbors needs someone on the other side. And if he can at least perform at a decent level, he has a real chance to get some targets. Another quick one, the tight end, Oscar Delp, New Orleans Saints. Those that do know me know I'm not a huge fan of Jawan Johnson. I think he, kind of had a bit of a fluke year last year. I know he's had some years here or there. He's a bit fluky, a bit skiddy. I do think Oscar Delp was underrated. Wasn't big on him early on, but I've talked to a number of people and read a number of things about him, and that opinion is changing. Uh, Another one is not necessarily a pick I think is going to be successful potential, but has potential. But I think he's going to probably play at some point. Is Cade Klubiak for the Jets? The Jets love throwing a young guy in there and seeing how seeing how they go and usually destroying them. But I think he's at least going to get a chance to play at some point. Gino either is going to be a letdown or get hurt, and then he's gonna get given an opportunity at some point in time. Even if he's not the second guy up is likely going to stink because they're the Jets. So Kubiak's likely going to get a chance. So on to veteran sleepers. Some of these are guys that I think you can get on a lower value, and maybe because some of the owners are trying to hold on to them because they may have paid high in the first place. But I think you can get at a lower value and will be really solid performers this year. I'm not talking about top 10 or at least the first two, but definitely in the third one probably. Um, they're going to be real solid performers for your teams. And those are the kind of guys you really need as depth. So first one, both the first two are actually a Michael Pittman effect, who's really interesting because he's not one of the players, but Josh Downs is the first. I think his Pittman's departure opens up a lot of targets. I think Downs will be that guy underneath. He's not anything flashy, but he can catch the ball, and he can make some runs here and there, and he needs those sort of quick rhythm based passes over the middle of the field. He's going to get that, I think, from Dart because they're going to want to get rid of the ball a little quicker than they were last year. Um, he was one of the better separators out of the slot last year, and just finished just under 1,000 yards. So he's getting targets. They just weren't converting as much. So this year, I think they're going to convert a lot more. You see that trend happen as he starts to connect with Daniel Jones. Um, and then also, obviously, defense is going to have to account for Ty Warren, as well as Alec Pierce outside. So they're going to be very focused on those guys, and obviously Jonathan Taylor as well. So Downs could have actually a really solid season. As I said, I don't think a top 10 or anything like that, but a top around a receiver 15, I could see actually happening if everything goes well for him this year. Another is, again, affected by Michael Pittman's departure, but now then arrival to Pittsburgh is DK Metcalf. Um, Anyone that knows me knows I love me some DK Metcalf. However, he just disappoints me every single year. I want him on my team every year because I think he's so talented, he's going to explode, and I get him, and he doesn't, and I have to trade him. Um, but I'm going back to the well one more time. I do think this is a better situation than most people will realize or are giving credit to. I think Pittsburgh is going to be a terrible team, to be quite honest with everyone. I don't even know if Aaron Rodgers is going to be the quarterback by the end of the year. Could be a strong no even. I think they're going to throw some rookies out there. They're going to have a pretty bad year, but they're going to have options across the field, and I think DK is going to get a lot of targets. I think they're going to be throwing the ball a lot. They're going to have to stay in games. So I do think DK is going to get a lot of attention. And and he's going to get that attention because he's going to have more opportunities to be open. Big body, wants to jump up, catch the ball, one-on-one situations. He's big and strong, physical guy, and that's what they're probably going to get a chance to use him for this year. He was getting bracketed last year and doubled so much. His opportunities few and far between, and that was the same in Seattle as well. So I think this year is one of the first years he's had some options around him. Again, Pittman, Bernard, they just drafted as well, and they have some tight ends that can do some damage. So I think DK has a year. Mark Andrews is my third, and he's a guy that I never want on my teams. I never have him on my teams. And this year's one of the years I feel like his price is at a real premium because it's low, because people are low on him, and in a tight end premium league, I think he's definitely a guy that I want. And especially for the price, actually just got him for a second rounder the other day in 27. Nice pickup in my opinion. Lamar and him, they connect well, and we've seen that connection over the years. Likely is gone. Lamar relies on his tight ends. Andrews, he's still getting up in age, but he's still young enough. He on a high scoring football team like Baltimore could be if Lamar stays healthy. Andrews will get his. Again, one I'm not saying will be tight end number one overall, but I wouldn't be shocked if he was around that sort of tight ends 5 to 7 this year, just through a breakout year. It feels like Lamar is going to stay healthy, and it feels like they got something to prove, which I know they do every year. But yet again, this year along with Derrick Henry on that team. So tight end premium format, I'm picking up Andrews where I can because it's good value. Quick other vets that I'm going to say honorable mention that I'm kind of liking it, that I think again can get a decent value, that I think are going to be real solid contributors. Some of these are going to be higher value just because I want to mention their names. But CJ Stroud, I think the Texans turn around this year, and he returns close back to that rookie form and what we saw in that first year. I do think that they've got the pieces, things Dell back as well, Monty there, and I just think that they have the opportunity to be really good on offense, and he's going to turn it around. Vikings in general, um, and this doesn't necessarily mean I think Murray's a great quarterback, but Murray's going to have a good fantasy year. He always will, always does, because he can run around. JJ and TJ Hawk also, favorite players of mine, and I just think that they're primed for big years as well, and a real bounce back, especially for JJ. Jonathan Brooks, big favorite of mine. Everyone knows that from over the years. UT Austin, Texas Longhorn there. Jonathan Brooks, it feels like he's still a rookie. He's only played a few minutes here or there, and he keeps getting hurt. So is this the year? I hope so. I'm rooting for him, and I think that at the value you can get him, he's worth the chance because he could be very good if he can stay on the field. Tootin, Montagai are two young running backs. I think take a big leap forward this year for obvious reasons. On Tootin, he's the only one in that RB1. It feels like Rodriguez is probably going to get some goal line touches and things, but Tootin should be the man, so he's going to get the opportunity. And I do think Swift is going to keep falling into the back, and Montagai is going to be stepping up. Receivers, AJ Brown, I'm just going to throw a homer pick out there. Obviously, I think him and May are going to be a great connection, have an awesome year. Ladd will be back. Garrett Wilson finally has other weapons around him that aren't. I don't even know who they've had over the last few years, but terrible at receiver and tight end. They finally have options to spread the ball around, and I think he's going to be a really good scorer this year. Love Rome. Love Jalen Reed from the Packers. Watson will get hurt. Reed's reliable, and he still had a good year last year, and he was hurt for a good portion of it. So I think that he'll have a really big year this year and bounce back and be really good. Strange from Jacksonville at tight end, and Helm again another Longhorn, but both of those guys I think are really primed for big years moving forward this year as well. And again, you can get a decent value. So that's it from me. Mark was supposed to join me. Hopefully, he will next time around.